is so important to just put out content. You just never know what piece of content is going to explode and give you a whole new life of opportunity.
Welcome to Built with me, Katie Chung. Listen every week as I talk with athletes, entertainers, and entrepreneurs about how they built who they are today and get the inside scoop about their lives. Today, I have content creator, singer, and YouTube star, actually just internet star, Kyler Fisher. So,
hey guys.
Kyler, you are literally, some people might know you as Tatum and Oakley's dad because you have built this empire of social media with your family. Tatum and Oakley have over 3 million followers on Instagram. You and Madison combined have over 2 million, and your youngest, Halston, am I saying that correct? Halston?
Yeah, Halston. Yeah.
Halston, such a cute name. She has over 600,000, and you have another baby on the way, which I'm sure already has more followers than me. So you have just completely built this empire.
Yes, it's been a fun journey, man. Like every day is a new opportunity or just a new piece of content, and we just enjoy it. The best part about it is we're together as a family, and that's what I wanted more than anything. So
absolutely. So I actually met, we're both from Idaho, and I had met you and Madison in LA through another Idahoan, and it was just you two at the time. You were just living in Hollywood. What was life like before the kids?
Life before the kids was like we were just spinning our wheels, to be honest with you. We didn't know what we wanted in life. We were just doing the cattle call audition thing, and it was just pretty empty-ended. Like we didn't really have any clear direction. So when we had the kids, it gave us kind of like a new meaning for life. I think really what's really important in life, is family and whatnot. And so it's been life-changing to have children. I always tell people the same thing, that, when you have kids, your life will significantly change for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. I just know that the last time that I really saw you guys, it was you two. And then I heard you were pregnant. I actually moved away from LA. And then overnight, you guys just became this internet sensation. So I guess we can just jump into it. How did you guys start in the social media game, and how did this all take off?
So we lived at a place called East Town on Hollywood Boulevard. It was across the street from 1600 Vine. You may have heard of 1600 Vine and all the Vine stars that for some reason lived there. I think it was pretty ironic. But I'm a networker, man. I just love talking to people, and I ended up talking to one of the a bigger influencer in the space is videographer, and we became friends, and I just started vibing out with him, and we ended up playing basketball, and I ended up bringing in like just about everybody to come play ball with me, like 3 or 4 days a week. We would play basketball together, and it was a fun deal. So I developed relationships with a lot of these people who are already kind of like running with this social media thing. And Madison and I, it was all new for us. It was something that we hadn't ever dabbled in, because we just felt like we were older, and it was just kind of like a little weird to like jump on and do silly videos and stuff like that. We were a little bit in our shells that way, and just focusing more on traditional media and traditional acting and stuff like that, rather than the social media thing. It was so new. Well, we found out we were pregnant, and we decided, we're pregnant, so we should probably move away from Hollywood, get a little closer to family, because we found out we were having twins. So we knew we were going to need the help. So we moved to Huntington Beach, where her parents lived. When we had the twins, I was, involved in some international business that had gone south. And I was just kind of sick of it, I was kind of sick of it. I wanted to make a really good life for my family. I was actually really sick of leaving my family, because I had to leave on business trips and things like that. Madison would be home alone with the twins, and I knew that wasn't okay. I didn't feel good about that, leaving her with 2 new babies, So I just said, you know what? I think we're going to start something. We've got a real edge here, something super unique that I think people will latch onto. Sure enough, we jumped on the internet. We started posting videos about our family life, or just lifestyle. It's like a lifestyle vlog. Vlogging was a new thing. We were kind of one of the front runners to start in that. And yeah, we just went for it, took off. We collabed with a lot of big influencers and just kind of upward spiral from there. It was really cool.
I know even people in our generation don't really understand how people make a living doing content creation and posting videos and social media, especially the generation before us. Does your family understand what you're doing? Were they questioning once you left your job kind of what's going on and why are you doing this?
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning, it was a little confusing for everybody around us, because they're just not used to it, putting yourself out there, exploiting yourself, your kids, taking even a selfie is kind of like, it was kind of embarrassing in the beginning, right? Like, because Instagram was so silly back then. Do you remember Instagram was all about like, oh, this is the food that I ate, or you post pic. It was so weird. If you go back to all your old posts, you can see how odd it was,
I actually just deleted my old ones because I didn't even want to look at those ones.
It's funny. I want to delete them, but for some reason I can't delete them because I like want the memory. You know what I mean? I want the memory of like posting a picture of like, I literally have a picture in my Instagram of an apple staring at me in the refrigerator. That is so dumb, but it's so funny. Like, why would I post that? I don't know. I think the caption was like, this apple is staring at me or something. It's so stupid, but it's just funny to look back and just like, that's what Instagram was. Like, people didn't really know what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at first I think it was almost like an artistic thing because I remember having sunsets and landscapes and, trying to have this artsy edge. And that was kind of what Instagram started for me.
Yeah. Advertising wasn't really a thing. And now everybody's trying to be an influencer and advertise. And I think it's great. I think if you're not on the internet and you're not trying to be in this space, you are missing out on a whole world of opportunity. I think we've had these conversations before, you and I, about this. It is so important to just post, put out content. You just never know what piece of content is going to explode and give you a whole new life of opportunity. So I happen to be super fortunate in the space. I don't think it happens for everybody, but it definitely can.
And I think the biggest takeaway too is like, you guys are just yourselves. And that's what makes people like you. And there's so many people out there that are trying to be somebody else, or they're trying to be somebody that everybody likes, instead of just like focusing on who they are and their quirks and, their personality.
Yeah. I've fallen into that trap before where I'm kind of like, creating content like somebody else. And I've noticed, the audience notices, what I mean? They notice when you're not being yourself. It's super important to be authentic. And I feel like I've kind of changed that, I think in the beginning when I was trying to figure it out, that's what I felt like everybody wanted to see. And, everyone wanted to see, but I was just recreating what somebody else was doing, rather than doing my own thing and just being myself. So as I've been able to, remember that, I think we continue to stay consistent, at least, to a degree. We don't, we've taken a dip. I think everybody who uses the word algorithm changes. I don't know what it is, but we've obviously taken a dip. We used to do, our views used to be much higher, so what, what I mean? Like, we're still super happy, like, super, super grateful to be in the space. And it's been such a cool thing. But I would say, my number one takeaway from this whole experience of the last 4 years or almost 5 years is probably just consistency. You just have to stay consistent. Like, and as you stay consistent, people start to figure it out. I am pretty confident that, the more and more I continue to put out music, even if it takes 5 years, that I'm going to be where I want to be. Where a lot of people, they just give up or they don't put out music for 6 to 8 months and people forget about them. I put out a song like at least every 2 months now, and I'm going to be working on albums, in the coming days, as I get more time to work with more producers and stuff. Consistency is everything. And that's one thing I've had to learn in my life. For the first 10 years out of college, 10 years out of high school, for the first 10 years out of high school, I didn't understand that, what I mean? Consistency wasn't something that I really had. And I have learned that when you stay in something and you stay consistent with something, people just start to catch on and you start to just grow like crazy. So,
I mean, consistency in everything, whether it be social media or business or a 9 to 5, like anything consistently, your habits, your life, your posting, it's going to lead to success. And I think too many people quit too early on. So I think that's a great takeaway. It's just your consistency in it.
The 10,000 hour rule makes sense. I mean, you spend $10,000 beating at your craft, working on your craft, and you are going to become an expert in that field. And the money can come later. It's cool to see the fruits of our labors, as we've really put in our time, we're reaping the benefits.
So you touched a little bit on your parents and everyone wondering like, oh, we're taking pictures, we're taking selfies, we're taking pictures of our kids. Now there's a lot of bullying that goes on. All of us experience it. But how have you guys dealt with maybe any sort of negative criticism, whether it be parenting or putting your kids on the internet? And just how do you deal with that as a whole?
You know what? In the beginning, it was kind of shocking. You know what I mean? It was kind of shocking. Like I have a picture of me throwing Tatum Marockley. I don't know I can't remember who it was. Probably 15 feet in the air. It looks like 25 feet for real. Like, cause I throw my arms down. And so I lose I throw my arms down, and I remember just getting ripped apart. That was the first time I feel like I've ever really experienced like a lot of hate, a lot of, mom, they call them mom shamers, but they're actually shaming me for throwing my daughter up in the air like that. It's like, who are you to say, like, I can do whatever I want. And I know when my kid is safe and when they're not safe. And I felt super safe. And I'm sure if something would have happened, yeah, for sure I'd have to, deal with the consequences, but keep your stuff to yourself. You feel me? Keep it to yourself. That's a memory. That's a picture and a memory I always remember, and I'm going to make another one just because I'm just going to make another photo just because because I like it.
Absolutely. I think too many people judge something. I mean, that's a picture and they're judging how many different angles based on a picture. People need to focus on themselves and they need to focus on what they have going on in their life. There's too many people sitting behind a keyboard because they're bored and they just want to judge you and what you're doing. And I know that it is hard for people in your shoes to be constantly criticized. So you do take a half second when you're posting something like, hey, what are people going to say about me? What are people going to think about me? And I know that's very common. So it's good to know how
I'm over it now. Really. I'm over it. That's another thing is it's been a lifelong journey for me to get to this point where I rid myself of those feelings of what are people going to think about me? I'm just so over what people think about me. I'm going to represent myself the way I want to represent myself. And that's a pretty good person, I would say. If I strongly disagree with something or disbelieve in something, I'm going to say it, and I get a little bit of hate for that. I'll be honest. You've probably seen a couple of my posts recently about some stuff that's going on. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but there's some stuff going on right now that I just don't agree with. There's some stuff that I speak my mind, and I'm going to speak my mind just regardless of what people say, or, if, there's some person on the other side that's like pushing buttons and canceling me. We live in that culture right now.
Well, it goes back to being yourself, right? It goes back to being yourself. You have your own opinions, you have your own thoughts, and you can't just try and make everybody happy and be this cookie cutter person that everybody wants you to be.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't live that way. You're not being honest with yourself if you're being that way. You don't have to put it all out there. You don't have to put all your feelings out there. You can be honest with yourself and not put it out there if you don't want to cause waves or whatever, and that's fine. But, if I feel strongly about something, or if I feel like I need to stand up for somebody or something like that, I do it.
Absolutely. So you guys are always on social media, whether it be your YouTube, your Instagrams, your TikToks. What does a typical day look like for you and the kids?
This morning is a perfect example of what a day looks like on, posting a video or whatever. We try to keep our schedule on the internet. We have a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday schedule where we post some sort of video. We posted the baby mama dance, the best baby mama dance on the internet or something like that today. It's doing decent. You know what I mean? It's doing decent. I mean, this is kind of like what my morning looks like generally is I'll post a video. I do kind of like track numbers for the first like couple of hours, to see how we can like either boost numbers by supporting it with some sort of social media push, like on Instagram or whatever, TikTok or whatever it is, to promote the video, because we obviously want our videos to perform. We want people to see them because we spent time making them. That's the most important thing. It's like you want to feel validated for the work you put in, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what my typical day looks like on a posting day. And then, on every other day, we're either filming content or working on brand integrations, because we get brand integrations all the time. People reach out to us on a daily basis to promote their brands. And, we have to make sure that those things fit the mold, fit what makes sense for us. There's certain brands we won't work on. But I would say that for the most part, all brands are pretty family friendly. And it's like typical day. I mean, we work a lot, we work a lot. as a family, I would say. It's not as bad as I think people think we're working all day. I would say for the most part, we're not working all day. It's like we get our tasks done and then we spend a lot of time together as a family. I had a water balloon fight yesterday with my daughters, and they're playing dress up all day, and it's fun. We're in quarantine, essentially. Like we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
So
I live in California. There's nothing to do. Things are still kind of shut down. It's not really vibes yet,
Yeah, absolutely. So you spend all this time filming and doing your social media. Do you spend any time off camera? Do you make sure you have that personal family quality time?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. We only do 3 videos a week. Sometimes those videos only take us 30 minutes to make. So I'd say for me, I'm really focused on music right now. That's like my main focus right now is music. I would like to translate fully into music so I can take a little bit of a back seat here, We enjoy making the videos. However, it does get stressful sometimes. It can put a lot of pressure on Madison right now, who's pregnant, so we try to limit the time of filming, and I would just love for it to translate,
I think one of the best things about social media is it can build a platform. Like you have built a platform for yourself, for your family, but also for yourself, which now that can translate over to music because you have all these fans and followers and you're like, hey, here's my new music video, here's my new song, check it out, where someone who's starting at ground zero may not have that opportunity.
For sure. I think I've done a lot of trickle over, but I will say music is a different game. Like it is not translating like I thought it would, and I'm like, and it drives me insane. Just like YouTube did in the beginning, where I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to figure it out, and that's where I'm at. I'm going to figure it out. I want to figure out my sound. I want to figure out what is going to catch Spotify's attention, what kind of production is going to catch their attention to go, you know what, this guy's got something going. And I have a new song coming out. I'm not trying to plug, but I'm going to plug. It's called A Little Like Me. It's called A Little Like Me. It's a song about my baby boy that's coming here August 5th, 6th, 7th, around that date, set to release on August 7th. And it is on a whole nother level. It's on a whole nother level. If you've heard any of my other songs, they're great, but the production levels are a little bit, they're not exactly where I'd like them. You know what I mean? They're not in the lane that I want to be in 100%. And this song is going to change the game, I think. I think it's going to fly on its own. We'll see what happens.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. I know that I've liked your other songs, so this one I'm sure is going to be. I'm
going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you right now. Yeah, you're going to get a sneak peek right now because I like your opinion.
So with everything looking so perfect on social media, like your family, I mean, your family is just beautiful. You and Madison.
It's not.
You and Madison. I know, but you guys that's what I'm trying to get to is you guys look so perfect and you're so happy. And you and Madison, I know, are just such great people. What are some of the challenges that you have right now? Just everyday challenges or your biggest challenge that you're just trying to overcome constantly?
Yeah, for the viewers of this podcast, I will say that it is not all, sunshine and rainbows, because we work together all the time, every day. And it can get really stressful sometimes, where we're trying to keep up with schedules and deadlines. And, we have kids that are screaming in our ears all the time. And we love our kids, but there are just those times where we're trying to get work done and we can't do it because we have to focus on our kids and, make sure we have a good balance and stuff like that. And sometimes it gets really stressful. And so I would just say, if you're going to do this business, just have balance, and don't focus so much on the financial benefits of it. Really try to focus on, especially if you have a family, really try to focus on making sure you're balanced, because it can get, it can get pretty crazy.
What would you say is your message that you're trying to send your fans and followers through all of your content?
Honestly, the same kind of like this. That family is just the most important thing. You know what I mean? We're a family influencer, essentially. You know what I mean? We're trying to represent, that American family dream. You know what I mean? We and we get a lot of feedback that way. We get a lot of people saying, I wish I had a family like yours, or, and it's sad to hear those comments, but it's actually really nice to know that we have we're making an influence on people, and we're helping people set goals. We want people to experience the same type of life that we have. A great marriage. My marriage is great. I have beautiful kids. All kids are beautiful. You know what I mean? All just it's an amazing life. It's an amazing life to have a family. You know what I mean? Just it's where real true happiness comes from, that I've found. I've found that, and that's obviously my opinion, but that's where I've found. I've chased a lot of things in my life. I've chased money. I've chased status. Fame, essentially, through wanting to be a big actor and stuff like that. But I found true happiness in waking up in the morning and getting my youngest out of her crib, in her pajamas, and just her just laying on my shoulder, and what I mean? That's where I find my true happiness, for real.
Well, and if anything, I mean, your videos are just such a feel-good video, and that content with everything going around is nice to have. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. So we hope to just, honestly, that's kind of like our goal. Our goal is to just be a good example of where true happiness comes from.
Well, I know you're extremely busy with everything, with your new baby boy coming in literally weeks and days. It could be any minute.
Could be any minute. She's having contractions right now, so they're not super, super close together, but it could happen.
This could be the moment. Tell her congratulations if it's today.
Well, we woke up this morning to our friend who wasn't supposed to be due until when we were, and she had her baby last night. So we had a picture, got a picture, and we're like, what the heck? So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, thank you so much for jumping on this with me. If you guys want to check out Kyler and his beautiful family, plug your social media, Kyler.
Kyler, well, it's actually The Fishfam on YouTube. And then my Instagram's Kyler Stephen Fisher. Madison is Madison Bontempo. She's changed her name, but we left it like that just because, it's a cool name. I like her last name. Her maiden name's cool. And then obviously Tatum and Oakley, and then Halston.Blake. We have lots of handles. It's kind of crazy, but our main kind of thing is our YouTube channel. So The Fish Fam.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing your family even grow more with another little boy on the way. You guys are awesome. I love following you. I love following your kids. You guys are such good people. I hope that I get to see you in person soon, someday.